Kaiju number 9. With one swift punch, number 9's head was slapped clean off. This wasn't a case of Kaiju number 9 being equally matched. No. Kafka completely destroyed him with barely any effort, and if not for interruptions from the defense force, the series would have ended right there. Kaiju number 8, having the highest fortitude level in history of 9.8, was so much stronger than 9 imagined that it actually decided to lay low and rethink its life for a bit. After all, Kaiju number 8 was pretty much the only obstacle in his way. And so, Kaiju number 9 sent a full frontal attack of the base where Mina's division was located. However, with her away, it was left upon Hoshino to take charge in their defense. In this attack, we see number 9's first created Daikaiju in number 10, who was showcased to have a fortitude level of 9. However, Hoshino managed to fend it off until Mina could return and finish the job. In spite of this, Kaiju number 9 gave 10 the control over multiple Yojus who are normally individualistic kaiju, and with 10's final dying screech, these Yoju gather together to send down a nuke on the division grounds, which forced Kafka to reveal his secret of being Kaiju number 8. Whilst all this was going on, number 9 used his time away to molt his body and enter a new form, ready to take back the power of the kaiju that fell into human hands. This new form was another example of Kaiju number 9's shape-shifting abilities, as he forcibly merged with another kaiju, this time an ant type, giving him his ant form, burrowing underground, beginning its assault on the defense force, targeting Kaiju number 8. Thanks to it being able to sense other kaiju, similar to Kafka, number 9 was able to understand that the human in front of him was Kaiju number 8. However, number 9 had a game plan this time, one that literally turned the tide of the battle. A clone of himself appeared before Genarumi, stopping him from providing Kafka with backup, whilst other ant kaiju in the area began coming back from the dead. Nonetheless, Kikaru instead appeared to protect Kafka, facing not one, but 2 Kaiju number 9s, as he once again cloned his body to make it a fair fight. Things soon turn on their head again though when Kafka overcomes his fear of becoming a kaiju, showcasing just how much stronger he had gotten since his rampage against Isao, learning to use his power. Thus, like their first battle, Kaiju number 9 is completely outmatched. This was only a clone though, as Kaiju number 9 had a greater idea to grow even more powerful. It created clones to send as not just a diversion, but to learn. It was so obsessed with learning more about the defense force that even with Kafka damaging the core of a clone, the beta Kaiju number 9 refused to go back and reconnect with him. Instead, he simply enjoyed his battle with Narumi, since Kaiju number 9 becomes stronger the more it interacts with humans, learning and adapting in response like a virus. It's a complete unknown even for kaiju standards, proving that this thing truly is built different. Nonetheless, even though it failed to kill Kafka and Narumi, Kaiju number 9 got the last laugh, as the true plan behind his attack was to absorb Isao Shinomiya and take the power of Kaiju number 2 for himself. Kaiju number 9 had another wave of attack waiting, an insane amount of kaiju with a fortitude of over 8, which would even keep Kaiju number 8 busy for long enough since he values human life above all else. Yet, something outside of 9's expectations occurred. The power of Kaiju number 6 that no one could handle had finally found a user, Leno Ichikawa, who supported Kafka and led a path towards Mina. Whilst he was absorbing her, he reveals Mina's fate is sealed, because since the ages, no matter the era, no matter how strong they may be, no one in history has ever managed to escape his takeover. Which makes sense, as this chess move of taking over the strongest oppositions was done before with the previous era leaders, along with there being hundreds of other kaiju inside this monster, showing that he may very well be the progenitor of all kaiju, leaving Mina totally helpless in opposing it, just like Isao. This truly made Kaiju number 9 unstoppable until Kafka arrived. It was third time the charm for these two, as they once again went head to head in a battle that put the infrastructure of the entire city at risk with each clash of their fist. However, the fight is a complete reversal of their other battles, where Kafka was relying on brute strength against 9's superior techniques, as Kaiju number 9 proved that he now had greater brute strength than the strongest kaiju in history, inferring that his new fortitude level to be much higher than 9.8. 8. Kafka uses Isao's squadron-style technique to fight as they both begin destroying the city around them, but none of his attacks are working, showing that Kaiju No. 9's endurance truly is next level. We already saw it avoid death multiple times by protecting his core, but here, Kafka can't even break through the shell. But then thanks to Sosro teaching him his own family's secret techniques, Kafka creates his own new attack, called Modified Twin Blast. This was essential for the battle, as even Isao wouldn't have had knowledge of this attack beforehand. On top of that, it was in this moment that Kafka surpassed Isao himself. However, it didn't change anything, as it turns out that Kaiju No. 9 had an inner shield ready around his core and instantly regenerated. You see, Kaiju No. 9 is fascinated by humans. It doesn't understand them, but the more it interacts, fights, and eats them, the stronger and more capable it becomes. By absorbing more and more of humanity, this feeling to learn grows, and you can never learn everything. And so this greed is insatiable. He asks himself questions like, what is love? What is jealousy? What is law? What is the human centipede? No, seriously.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
As Kaiju No. 9 explains his dream of turning all of humanity into a seedbed for kaiju growth, Kafka goes into main protagonist mode and tells him that ain't gonna happen. But that is when the good guy music cuts, as Kaiju No. 9 enters his newest transformation. A transformation so powerful that it literally brings Kaiju No. 2's aura to the surface, and no surprise considering his head is there too. Kaiju No. 9 is so overpowered now that Kafka states it feels like he's fighting Isao himself. Not just that, but it also feels like he's competing against Kaiju No. 2 and 9 at the same time. What's even worse is that Kafka's unique Hoshina fighting style is proving to not actually be worth much, as Kaiju No. 9 is instantly adapting and learning each move once Kafka uses it. Thus, he's utterly helpless against what is now the strongest kaiju to ever live, as he's mere moments away from dying. However, in a reverse of their first meeting, this time Kafka's core is saved at the final moment, as Mina lock and loads her gun, ready to finally fight side by side with their ultimate childhood friend.